Greetings everyone, Pete Pardo here from Comic Book Geezers. Welcome to another episode of Inside the Cover. We're going to did a whole bunch of Daredevil issues fairly recently, so now we're going to kind of break away from that. We're going to move over to some Avengers issues over the next couple of episodes in between the videos with Bill and myself, where we're going to look into the Avengers in the 130s. Okay, so we've got a trio of them that are coming up at you over the next week or so. We're going to start it off with issue number 133. You might recall, some of you, that we did an episode on 132, and I believe 131 not long ago, where Earth's mightiest heroes were battling Kang, and then kind of Immortus got involved and whatnot. So you might also remember that Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, was actually working with Agatha Harkness as her mentor to, kind of fine-tune her witchery. That's kind of where we take off, here. So here you've got the Scarlet Witch doing all sorts of spells. Agatha's kind of watching and, helping her out. And here you can see how that seems to be going. I think Miss Harkness is, she's working her hard, right? So Scarlet Witch is awfully tired. While all this is going on, you've got the rest of the crew, Mantis, Hawkeye, Vision, Thor, and Iron Man, talking with Immortus. And Immortus is talking to Vision, and he basically tells him, he's trying to give him insight into, his birth, his creation. So that's what these three issues that are going to be coming, this one and the next two that are going to be coming up, really go in depth into the whole creation, the history of the Vision, as well as Mantis as well. So that both of these two heroes really don't know much about their genesis. So this is kind of like show and tell couple of issues here. So here, Immortus basically sends the Vision off to discover, like I said, his birth. So he says, inward to the beginning. Okay, and here, this particular issue's got a little cut in it, which kind of sucks. As you can see, sometimes that does happen when you buy some of these old issues. So here, the Vision goes off, and time to see where he started. Of course, the Vision was created from the original Human Torch, who was an android. So the Vision gets this little scepter, which you can see up top here, where he then can travel through the universe back in time to actually see, a little bit of history on how he became the Vision. So here we go way back, all right, going back into the 30s to see how the Human Torch was created, because he's got to know about his own creation by learning how the Human Torch was created. Okay. So this is all about looking into the past. And so, our other heroes, while they are involved here, so basically the Vision goes off on his own. Meanwhile, Thor gets a similar type scepter to take Iron Man, Hawkeye, and Mantis to go to see her journey to becoming Mantis. All right, so here we also have kind of the Ghost of the Swordsman, all right, talking to Mantis's father. All right, so now we go to the origin of Mantis. We go back to all these planets. This is these couple of issues are very dialogue heavy. All right, and, obviously Hawkeye seems like out of his elements, because here he is traveling through time and space, and, he doesn't have any superpowers. So here we have the Skrulls are involved in this storyline, right, because the Skrulls seem to be involved in all things known to, with the Kree and whatnot. So here you have, and this is also just as much a story of the whole Kree and Skrull War. All right, so as you can see, our mighty Avengers are kind of looking at all this stuff as it unfolds, millennials in the past. And here you actually get to meet some of the Kree warriors here and some of the leaders as they, kind of talk about, they're actually slaves of the Skrulls and how they work towards the uprising. And the Avengers are sitting watching all of this. And there's actually a third race here, who kind of gets involved with all this. And what were they called again? I forget what they're called. The Kotati. Okay, the Kotati are like these kind of woodland, almost like plant creatures. As you can see, those are the green ones there. So basically, the Kree go and actually exterminate the Kotati. which the Skrulls then see, and they're like, "God, you guys are just as bloodthirsty as we are, right?" So here, the Kree go and just kill all the Kotati, and meanwhile, Thor and Iron Man and Hawk, they're watching this in just absolute horror, and saying how the Kree are just as bad as the Skrulls, right? What makes them any different at all? Great artwork here. I forgot to mention, shame on me, Steve Englehart, author and writer, Sal Buscema and Joe Staton, artist, Tom Orzechowski, calligraphy, Phil Rachelson, coloring, and Len Wein was the editor here. So, this is kind of, when you look at it, this is like, wow, holy crap, the Kree, just as ruthless. All right, so then the last page here. The Skrulls never knew what had happened to their ship until the day, decades later, a Kree armada attacked their world without warning. On that day, they became as bloodthirsty as their enemies, and thus began the eternal Kree-Skrull War. All right, so that is fascinating. But what does that have to do with Mantis's past and future? This is Mantis asking. And then you hear Immortus saying, "It has everything to do with you, Mantis. Curb your impatience. One does not become a celestial Madonna overnight." And Hawkeye says, "And me without my Dramamine. Prepare yourselves. We journey onward." So now that they've seen the beginning of the Kree-Skrull War and how that all unfolded, next issue we're going to go even further. So Mantis is getting like impatient. She wants to know, well, what about me? What does this have to do with me? Apparently it has a lot to do with her. So that will be in the next issue. So the next issue, the Scarlet Witch versus Moondragon. Also, the death, resurrection, and death of the Human Torch, because we're going to continue on with Vision's origin. And just to round things out, the History of the Universe Part 2, whatever did happen to Simple Stories. Yeah, just at this point in time, Marvel is not doing Simple Stories. So yeah, that is your kind of last page there. And we will continue in just a few days with issue number 134. Again, these couple of issues are not action heavy. This is more kind of dialogue and storyline. Marvel did a great job with developing storylines back in the late 60s into the early 70s. And this one came out in, what year was this now? This was 1974. Right, so a lot of interesting stuff going on here, but this is more about the origin stories than anything else. So, yeah, so tune in next time, or over the next couple days, for issue number 134, and we'll continue on with this, right? So thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit that like button. Before you leave us here today, very, very important to the YouTube algorithm, and if you're not a subscriber, and you just happen to stumble upon Comic Book Geezers, please hit that subscribe button, and then hit that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as it posts. We're trying to do stuff a little bit more frequently during the week. Normally, in the past, we've been every Wednesday and Thursday. We're trying to get you at least 4 or 5 videos a week going forward. We'll see how that works out. So you're going to get videos with Bill and myself. You'll get some by me separately. You might get Kirk. You might get Scott involved. Whoever we can get to do videos, we're going to do that. So, yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Issue number 133 of the Avengers from 1974. Stay tuned for issue number 134 coming at you in just a couple days. Till then, I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon here on Comic Book Geezers. Take care. Bye-bye.